Exactly. Yeah, it was a Marvel heavy week.
Yeah. It's like, I mean, yeah, sure, we could talk about Biden in Afghanistan, sure, but I mean, Marvel had more news recently. I mean,
exactly.
It's only fair. So welcome to the graphic multiverse. I'm your host, Paul, joined with Rob.
Hello there.
Who, speaking of war-torn countries, just came back from Germany.
Yes.
Sounds like it. I mean, war-torn
80 years ago, but
yeah,
yes, it was very war-torn. But yeah, I had a good trip, just hung out with some family. My son got to meet his cousins for the first time.
That's
cool. It was nice to see him interact with that side of the family. And yeah, I was just sleepy and jet-lagged pretty much the whole week, but it was nice.
And I believe your bit of advice was, if you're going to travel overseas, definitely do it for more than a week.
Minimum 2 weeks, I'd say. Because by the end of that first week, I was good. I was acclimated, but it's like even at the first couple days, you think you're acclimated, but you're not.
Yeah, no, just saying before we started recording, I went to England on a high school trip. It was like a foreign exchange thing. And I remember my first day there thinking this was a fucking mistake. Like that first day, just like, just totally out. And I was grumpy, because I just wanted to take a sleep. I just wanted to like sleep. And everybody was like, don't do it. Don't even take a nap because you won't get up. Yeah,
if you're capable of sleeping on a plane, I feel like overseas travel is probably not as bad.
Right.
Because say like the flight over there is like to Germany is 7-ish hours. Say you could sleep for like 4 of those and then you just kind of power through the rest of the day. That'd be great. But my flight was at 9 p.m. out of Boston. Didn't sleep at all.
Ugh, no.
I had a window seat and I was like just cramped and
yeah,
didn't sleep.
No, not dude. Even flights from Denver to Boston, like I took some sleeping stuff, and I slept, but I almost kind of feel like
I used to always put like explosions in the sky or some like instrumental music on in my headphones and just try to like enter a weird like fugue state. But
yeah, see, I mean, like when I forget what I took. I don't know if it was like melatonin or I don't know, but I almost kind of when I woke up. And also, side note, the reason why I even took the medication was because I fucking hate turbulence. And if I could just sleep through that, that's great. So when I woke up in Boston, I was like, I slept, and I kind of wish I didn't. Like, I woke up feeling like I had a cold.
Yeah.
And I knew it was related to the airplane because, like, later on that day, I, like, felt totally fine, like it went away. But I was like...
airplanes are super dry. I think that's what it is.
That's what it was. I think I fell asleep with my mouth open.
Mm-hmm.
So, it was just felt like sandpaper. So...
The way back, though, I spent like $120, upgraded my seat, got like the exit row, but on the plane I was on, I had like 10 feet in front of me.
Oh my God.
It was friggin' amazing. I could like stretch easy.
That sounds nice.
It was so worth it.
It is actually, I mean, for an extra $100,
for $100, and the way back was like an 8-hour flight, and I was like, oh man, I had no regrets.
That's a work day.
Exactly.
It's a work day. And you're on vacation, it's like you worked for that time, and I don't want to feel like a fucking sardine for 8 hours and not be paid for it.
Exactly.
So I feel you on that. What was your in-flight entertainment?
So on the way there, I watched a bunch of Castle Rock Season 2 because I started watching that with my wife, but it's pretty intense, and she was just like, I don't know if I can keep trucking through this. So we kind of fell off after like the second episode.
Of Season 2?
Yeah, but the airplane had not the full season, only up to episode 6, but I got to watch like 3 more episodes of Castle Rock Season 2.
I loved Castle Rock. I thought that was a great show.
I loved Season 1. And Season 2, I really like too. I still have to watch like the last 2 episodes of Season 2.
Yeah.
But I'm pretty excited. Yeah, I love the vibe of it, how it captures just like the essence of Stephen King. And there's just like so many Stephen Kingisms and
Dude,
stuff. And
yeah, and I think it's great that the first season that they cast what's his face, one of the Skarsgård brothers, who was also Pennywise,
who was just revealed in the episode of season 2 I watched as something, and I was just like, what the fuck? So I need to keep watching this.
Yeah. I'm great.
Excited.
And of course the big reason why I love this show is because of the amount of Dark Tower references. Like, it's just which I don't know if you recognize because you're kind of early.
Yeah, I've only read like a book and a half, so nothing's jumped out at me yet. But
right. The later books is like ooh. So gotta love that.
I watched. Yeah, on the way there, I watched mostly that, and then I just played like video games and tried to sleep. But on the way back, I watched A Quiet Place Part 2.
Oh, even quieter.
I liked. It was good. It plays with your expectations with some stuff, but it's exactly what you expect that type of movie to be.
Yeah. It's available on Paramount Plus, so I might watch it.
Yeah, it's totally. If you like the first one, it's more good stuff. It's Emily Blunt's in it, and I just love Emily Blunt. So
I know. I want Emily Blunt to be Sue Storm.
Yeah, that would. Or anything. Just give me Emily Blunt to do anything.
Yeah.
What else? And then I watched The Little Things, which was like Denzel Washington, Jared Leto, and Rami Malek.
How was that?
It was good, but it wants to be 7 so bad.
Oh, really?
It's like a similar... It's not as like... I mean, it's dark. It's about trying to find a serial killer, but it's not like as dark as 7.
Yeah.
But there's... I just feel like at the end, you're just like, all right, so it's just one of these.
That's what I felt about like the first Saw movie. I felt like Saw was trying to be like 7.
Yeah, like a more intense, gruesome.
Yeah, well, I think just because of the detectives and there was like the journal entries and all that, and I kind of feel like there can only be one 7.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, it's if you got time to kill and you're in the mood for just like a dark detective serial killer thing, if you're in the mood to watch a David Fincher movie but there's none left and you'll take a step down,
right?
It's not bad. But yeah, that was basically my in-flight entertainment.
Well, it helps. It certainly helps with the long travel like that.
Oh yeah. That movie was like 2 hours and 20 minutes too, so that ate up a good chunk of time.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you, waiting for that Spider-Man trailer felt like I was cramped for 8 hours in a flight overseas.
I saw it leaked, and people were
did you watch that trailer?
No.
It was like, I did. I did. I can't wait.
What was it? Somebody was like, explained it. It was like a cell phone video of a screen or something.
It was poor. And everyone's like, it's fake. And I'm like, I think this one might be legit because I don't know. Because it wasn't like it was a superimposed Benedict Cumberbatch from one Avengers movie into like something else. It was like, this seems too like original.
Yeah. I didn't expect such a strange presence in this movie.
Oh, I like what you did there.
Yeah. But yeah, like I guess I didn't really think about it, but I wasn't even like really expecting. I think they said he was going to be in it, right?
Yeah, and there were set photos that they released of like Doctor Strange and Peter outside of his house.
Yeah. But
yeah, I agree. I thought it was going to be like another Thor Ragnarok thing. Where he kind of has like a scene and,
And again, from what Marvel trailers done in the past, maybe that's literally like the first 4 minutes of the movie. And then he's gone. Which I think, or maybe it'll just be like Tony Stark in like the first one. He like makes a couple pop-ins, but it's not like
who knows?
A Doctor Strange movie.
But yeah.
Oh man, just seeing the little green goblin thing bounce and then seeing Alfred Molina, and I was like, that's all I want. That's all I need. I like the crazy visuals of the multiverse. Yeah, that stuff's cool, but I just want to watch Alfred Molina and Willem Dafoe.
Yeah. Well, it's funny because we knew Alfred Molina was going to be in this movie and he was going to come back as Doc Ock, and yet even seeing it, it felt like I didn't know. Like it felt fresh to me. Like I jumped off the couch and did a dance when I saw the pumpkin bomb and Alfred Molina, and I was like, I knew this was gonna be in it, but like, I think something so gratifying about just like kind of confirming what you know.
Yeah, and there's like, because there's so many rumors about the movie, and I was just like, God, I hope some of them are true. Because
Yeah.
like the Tobey Maguire, Andrew Garfield being in it, I'm just like, it's still not confirmed, but I'm just like, I hope.
But it
and
definitely feels more closer to possibility now that
sure.
we got, because we know it's confirmed that Jamie Foxx is in it. I think this could be like a really cool live action version of Spider-Verse.
For sure.
And what's brilliant about this is that now they can claim the other movies as being canon. Like they can be technically MCU movies now. Yeah, so I love that. I loved Alfred Molina as Doc Ock. He was one of my favorite bits about like the whole trilogy.
Yeah, I mean, we were talking about the Sam Raimi movies last episode, but yeah, just having rewatched them recently, it's honestly like I miss those movies. Like I miss just the uniqueness of them because they didn't have that Marvel, like the MCU sheen, like that same look. And I'm hoping Spider-Verse, or not Spider-Verse, I'm hoping Spider-Verse definitely had its own vibe. That movie...
Oh, totes.
That movie doesn't have to prove anything.
Yeah, true. Can't wait for the sequel.
Me either. I'm so pumped.
But no, I get what you're saying though, Buck, because it's definitely a Raimi film.
You watch that and you're like, man, that is a Sam Raimi movie. Whereas you watch these Spider-Man movies, you're like, that was a Marvel Cinematic Universe movie.
Right, which is why I'm excited that Raimi is doing Doctor Strange, because, I think it's going to be great.
I saw somebody post online, they were just like, if Multiverse of Madness just looks like another MCU movie, I'm going to quit the MCU forever. And I obviously will not quit the MCU forever, but I'll be disappointed if the Raimi doesn't come through.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I've said this countless times, but I feel like at this point, Feige has earned my complete trust because
I will
the track
love
record
it.
is...
But like, if that movie is both like a continuation of the MCU, a great movie, and a great Sam Raimi movie,
yeah,
that has all the ingredients to be something beautiful.
True. But I also think it's smart. One, because I mentioned it makes the other Spider-Man movies canon, but it also utilizes pre-existing talent.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like you don't have to like recast Doc Ock, Electro, Green Goblin, because fuck, Willem Dafoe, Jamie Foxx, like I feel like you'd be crazy to not use those guys. And you'd be kind of great too if you had J. Jonah Jameson, like if you had like the Raimi version of him and like the bald MCU version of him. Like I mean, like yeah, J.K. Simmons, like how could you not continue to use him? Like he's just that guy, his performance is so good.
He is like, it's like when you try to think of somebody playing J. Jonah, you just can't. There's no one. And it's like at this point, trying to think of someone else being Iron Man, it's like, my brain won't let me imagine somebody other than Robert Downey Jr.
No, J.K. Simmons is like, I think hands down, if you take all of the comic book movies, all of them, J.K. Simmons, hands down, number one, best comic book performance. Like just in terms of like making it realistic, but also feeling like he like ripped himself out of the pages of the book. Like he does it like hands down. So
he did a great job. I think Willem Dafoe too. Like Willem Dafoe is performing like he's in a comic book from the 70s.
Oh yeah. Well, you know what's great, and I'm sure I mentioned this when we talked about the Raimi bit, but the scene in Spider-Man when he gets voted out of his own company, that performance is so great because he's like tackling everything. There's like, there's the bargaining, denial, the rage, like it's just, it's so good. So, and yeah, when I saw that pumpkin bomb, I mean like, yeah, it's like, who else could it be?
Yeah. And you just hear the hey, hey, hey in the background.
If it's Harry, I'd be really fucking mad. I think I'd be mad. Like I would still watch it, but like,
what if it's Harry, but they somehow resolve that storyline better than Spider-Man 3 did?
Yeah, well, the other thing too is, I mean, James Franco's in some hot water right now, so it's
That's
like
true. I don't think it's going to be James Franco.
Yeah. If I see that fucking surfboard or the snowboard, I'll be upset. But even then, I'd be like, that's who am I fooling? I would still like go see it and watch it and buy it. But I think it's just smart movie making across the board. The only thing I'm hesitant about is I was not a fan of this storyline in the comic book. And the storyline, I mean, everybody knows I'm Spider-Man and Doctor Strange, but in the comic it was Doctor Strange, Reed Richards, and Tony Stark. Like their combined efforts made the whole world forget, and it's I don't know. I think the movie version is going to do a better job than the comic book did, but I don't know. We'll see. I think I just kind of worry about the impact of that stuff. Like, will people remember? Yeah, like, well, like, you know, it's like in terms of the comic, right? You know, when everybody forgot Peter Parker was Spider-Man, no, like, did that change then the events of Peter Parker revealing himself? Were people like, hey, who was that guy who unmasked himself on CNN? Like, you know what I mean? Like, did that just get muddled, or did that now not happen? Like, it was never clear, and I'm sure that the movies won't do something like that. But, you know, still, there's always a part of me that's like, I hate a brand new day.
Yeah, that's...
Or one more day, the last day, all the fucking days.
All that
8
weird
days a week.
shit that I bought and don't remember anything except not being into it.
Brand New Day was great if you hadn't read the stuff that came before it. Like, if you not had read the J. Michael Straczynski run, which I still stand by was one of the strongest Spider-Man arcs. I loved his run.
That's when he was back in like the black suit and
towards the end there, yeah. But what made the Straczynski Spider-Man run great was that was the run where Aunt May found out he was Spider-Man. Peter Parker became a high school chemistry teacher at the high school he got bullied in. It just had a lot of great progression for the character that I thought was like natural. And then I
have all of that behind me in one of these boxes.
Yeah. So it was great progression for the character. And then Marvel was like, no, we have to have him poor and struggling and single, and it was a bummer.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I hear that some of the more recent comics, some of the cracks of that Mephisto deal are starting to kind of crack. So who knows? Who the fuck knows? But anyway, it's going to be great. It looks great. Seeing the Inception shit was great.
People are staring at forearms, trying to figure out if those are Charlie Cox's forearms. Putting down the binders.
Yeah, oh God, I want Charlie Cox to be in this so bad.
Me too.
And if we can't get him in this one, just get him back, because again, like Milena and Defoe, that's a great talent out there that needs to, you know, we need more of. There's something else I was gonna say. I also like the idea that we're kind of getting like a Sinister Six. Mm-hmm. Maybe not the classic OG Sinister Six, but I mean, it was like, so we know. I mean, yeah, Ock, Green Goblin, Electro. I mean, if they wanted to bring Michael Keaton back, I mean, he was an original member of the Sinister Six. Some people think that you could see the Lizard in one of the clips in
Yeah, there's people like slowing down frame by frame, and there's some big bulky dude with claws. I think it could be Venom or Lizard or... Yeah,
I mean, it could be either one. I mean, like, when I saw... somebody posted a GIF of it. I was like, you know, it could be the Lizard. I mean, the frame, the outline's similar to what we got with the Amazing Spider-Man. So who knows?
What if they brought back the dude who played Peter's teacher in the Raimi movies to be the Lizard? Like, they have him actually go through and become the Lizard. I
would love that, because I was waiting for that. I love that they planted that seed in the second one, you know, and I like that he was. It was smart. You know, I thought it was going to be like Aaron Eckhart with Two-Face. Mm-hmm. You know, like that you got like to see the good side of Harvey before, you know, the downfall. But sadly it didn't happen. But I mean, we have all the makings of a Sinister Six from previous movies. I would even be okay if they brought back
Topher Grace.
Let's not go crazy. Thomas Hayden Church as Sandman.
Oh yeah.
I mean, because Sandman was an original Sinister Six member, and I actually thought Thomas Hayden Church was really good in Spider-Man 3. Like, I mean...
Yeah, I thought the Sandman stuff was good in that movie.
Yeah, so who knows? Because I know there's a clip where you see, like, the electricity coming down and then, like, some rocky sand thing come up. So maybe that could be Sandman. I don't know. I'm just pumped for Willem Dafoe. I mean, ultimately...
Yeah.
Oh, so good. They Hasbro did a live stream today where they revealed some of the toys from that movie, and they gave J. Jonah Jameson his own figure. Like, it's like a J.K. Simmons as J. Jonah Jameson. Super excited, but also kind of they revealed one of the suits that he's rocking in the movie, and it's really interesting. I don't know if you saw Hot Toys release some promotional images of their Far or No Way Home Spider-Man suits, and it's like a black and gold, and it looks like it's got some
I think I
Doctor
saw
Strange mysticism-ness happening in it.
Yeah, there's like a split second of the trailer. It looks like he's in like a dark costume, so I wonder if that's...
Yeah. But it looks cool, though. I mean, like in the Hot Toys promotional bit, like even like his Spider-Man symbols, they doing an astral projection thing, so I don't know. But yeah, dude, I'm just super excited. A long wait for that because we got I mean, Eternals is coming out in November, and we've had 2 of those, and Spider-Man's out in December, and and I think everybody thought, well, maybe they had to wait for Black Widow or something else to come out.
Yeah, my last thing, I was like, I bet if it's not out by Shang-Chi, it has to be in front of Shang-Chi. So
right, yeah,
because that's a week away at this point.
Yeah, that's next week. That was a week from tomorrow.
I've been hearing good stuff about that movie too.
I am excited about that.
The early reviews are saying it has some of the best, if not the best by far, like hand-to-hand combat stuff. So
I mean, if you're doing a Shang-Chi movie, I don't want an Iron Fist repeat.
Yeah, I mean, just that. Oh my God, the fight scenes in Iron Fist are so bad. It doesn't make any sense because, like, oh man,
how can the fights be so good in Daredevil?
Yeah. Also,
and
like
yet
in the Defenders, I like how Daredevil just beats the shit out of him. It's like Iron Fist does nothing. He's like useless. Oh, yeah. I don't want to remember that.
Yeah.
Daredevil
make that deal
so
with Mephisto. Never see that. But yeah, well, you know what's kind of cool? Wong from Doctor Strange is in Shang-Chi and
you see him leaving. Yeah, he's like, I'm going on vacation. I'm going to go fight the Abomination in a cage.
I know. Like, is it connected? I'm excited. And I mean, I love Wong anyway. I'm happy to see more of him, and so pumped. I mean, that's honestly like one of the things I'm excited about for Shang-Chi is seeing Abomination, a bit more comic book, like, weird gill batwing ears thing going on. And that, it's we have never had a live action interpretation of this character, so that's going to be great. But yeah, so anyway, long time wait for Spider-Man, totally worth the wait. I can't wait for the next trailer where they give us a little bit more. Maybe they'll confirm little Toby, little Andrew Garfield-ness. But yeah, but the Eternals trailer, that got me all kinds of pumped too.
Yeah, that last trailer, because the first one was very just like a teaser.
It's a teaser trailer. Yeah.
And this one is just like, oh, damn, we got laser eyes, we got deviants.
Yep.
And it basically, I'm like you were saying before we recorded, like, I'm so pumped we read Neil Gaiman's run because that all made sense to me.
Yeah.
Because it's nice. Just like, oh, we haven't seen each other in thousands of years. Let's get the band back together. And I was like...
And I loved that they kind of explained their role in, or lack of a role, in the Infinity War and Endgame, and they're like, oh, we're not supposed to, like, or they didn't tell us to, or they told us to stay out of it. It's like, who's they? And then you see a Celestial, and it's great because when you see the Celestials and you hear them say deviants, it's like that Cap scene. Like, I understood that reference. Like, I'm really glad that we.
And when they basically said like the other or the blip or whatever. Yeah. They're like, it's enough energy to start the awakening or something. And I was just like, oh, is that the awakening of that Celestial that's in the planet Earth that we know about from the...
It could be. And I kept telling people that, too, that, like, because in Endgame, Rocket Raccoon says, that, like, when they were trying to find Thanos, like, oh, we found another energy signature this far out. And think about registering... a massive release of energy like that to track that how many light years away. It's like there's no way that doesn't have implications. Like, even if Fox doesn't, or sorry, Fox, even if Disney decides to bring in the X-Men into the MCU in a different way, like if they don't want to do a multiverse thing, I mean, I feel like that type of energy release, there's no reason why I couldn't awaken an X gene.
Oh, for sure. There's a ton of random stuff I feel like that's happened to the MCU recently that could, some random Nexus event, so much stuff could have just woken those people up.
I think, if however the multiverse realigns, like maybe they'll do what they did with Miles Morales. He was in the Ultimate Marvel comic book universe. Now he's in the mainstream 616 universe. So who knows? I mean, they could do some X-Men stuff like that where they fix it. It's like Back to the Future. They come back, get the timeline's restored, but it's a little different. Dad's more confident, and Biff is, kind of a coward now. I mean, who knows? But yeah, the Eternals looks really good. I love the cast. Like, I just love. It looks really artsy.
So I have never seen a Chloe Zhao movie, but
she's an auteur.
But she's known for that like naturalistic, very like shot on location, natural light type thing, which is so not Marvel. And I'm like, that's like everybody's criticism of the MCU is just like, why were Thor, Loki, and Odin sitting in front of a green screen when you just had to go to a goddamn field? Like, just film it in a field. But this movie looks like they filmed it in a field. So
yeah. I mean, it looks good. It's got Angelina Jolie, who I think looks great in this.
Yep, got Selma Hayek.
Yep. I mean, it's looking real good, and I'm excited to see what more this is going to reveal about this cinematic universe. I mean, because the Celestials, I mean, we've only really seen
the head of one, and then a hint of one, and Guardians 2.
I mean, so I'm excited to kind of see more of it and what that means for more, and like what kind of doors that can open. Like we're gonna get like
Galactus.
More Nova,
or the Nova stuff.
Yeah, I mean, there's so much cosmic stuff out there that they could do. So I don't know, but I'm excited. I'm excited that. Because it was just it's weird that we went so long without a Marvel movie. Like, we were kind of getting spoiled. Remember, we were getting 3 Marvel movies a year, and then you had like.
But now we're getting like 150 Marvel things a year.
I'm okay with it.
Because last year was
nothing.
I don't think
right? Yeah, that's what I mean. Last year was just
no shows or.
So, yeah, I mean, 2021...
WandaVision started in January, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah, this year we've had WandaVision, Falcon Winter Soldier, Loki, What If, Black Widow, Shang-Chi, Eternals, Spider-Man.
Yeah.
And that's 8 things, and then there's, 2 more TV shows?
Yeah.
That's
Hawkeye
10 goddamn things. That's wild.
Yeah.
What a wild world.
Indeed. And yeah, it's a good time to be a nerd. And what if, here we go again, Marvel surpassing my expectations.
Yeah, what is fun? I mean, it's a fun show.
It's fun. I am amazed by how much of the original cast they've been able to bring back. I really want a Haley Atwell Captain Carter movie.
That would be sweet.
I've heard rumors that she might pop up again elsewhere, which with all the multiverse shit, I mean, who knows? That could be a real possibility.
Yeah,
but I loved it. I also love the Hydra Stomper with that Iron Man suit. That was great.
I loved the first one I just love Cap stuff, but
yeah,
I actually think the show's been getting better, or at least more interesting as it's gone on. Because I feel like that was a good one to kind of.
It was a good start. It was a good lead-in.
It gives people a taste of what this is. It's just this is very kind of straightforward. It's literally just what if these 2 characters kind of switched around. But visually, I love the design of Captain Carter, super badass.
Oh yeah. Union Jack on the shield.
Yeah, just the characterizations of everybody was super fun. But
it was great to hear Sebastian Stan.
Yep.
Voicing Bucky in that was great. Even fucking Stanley Tucci.
Mm-hmm.
That was great.
But when I watched the last 2 episodes today, and I really like the T'Challa as Star-Lord one, just because
so good.
like all the things that changed in that world, having him as Star-Lord, I thought was really cool. How like he's just like such a pure person from such a young age that like he caused the Ravagers to basically just be like Robin Hood, and like super pure of heart, just like doing the right thing all the time. And because of that, like Drax's family was alive, and
because he talked Thanos out of doing his conquest shit. And, dude, hearing Josh Brolin,
because they're like, "What did you do with Thanos?" And then you just hear Josh Brolin's voice. I was like, "Oh shit!"
Yeah, because every time I hear that voice, I get a little scared. And this time, he's just like,
yeah, he's fun.
And I love the reoccurring joke. That kind of sounds like genocide. No.
He's like, no, it's balanced. It's balanced.
Oh,
also,
God.
we have Nebula. Karen Gillan's back as Nebula, and she's not a destroyed, pieced together android. I thought was awesome.
Yeah. And it's like, and there's still kind of some tension between her and Thanos, but not as bad. I'm assuming because of T'Challa's influence.
Yep.
I love the wig she was rocking. Yeah, no, it was all, and I love what was it? Oh my god, I'm blanking on his name. The guy at the beginning of Guardians who's like, who? Like, he's like a huge like nerd for Star-Lord, and just like, that is so Star-Lord.
Dimoon Hounsou or whatever that actor's name is, I forget. But yeah, I liked he was in it. I liked Howard the Duck. Get some Howard the Duck action.
Yeah, that was great. And Benicio del Toro comes back as like a jacked collector.
Yep. Uses the headdress thing from Ragnarok and stuff. Yeah, I thought that one was fun, and it was way more like nerdier, more out there.
And I think what helped too is that they got the voices from the movies.
Yeah, every time you hear the like actual voice, it makes a big difference.
It just feels like legit. Like, it's not like a Saturday morning cartoon spinoff, where it's clearly not Bill Murray from the Ghostbusters. It's some other guy doing the Garfield voice and the cartoon. Like, I mean, like hearing Michael Rooker, coming back was great. The dude who plays Taserface was in this. Like I checked the IMDb page. It's just amazing how much of these people they got back. And dude, Kurt Russell, he came back for like one line. Fantastic. And I actually want to see a sequel episode to that.
Oh, yeah, because that leads to a whole other nonsense.
Yeah.
And then episode 3 I thought was interesting. I didn't like it as much as episode 2. I think
it was a murder mystery. I think it's different.
And I liked it a lot towards the end. Like, kind of as it
Michael
wraps up.
Douglas.
Yep. And I thought that was kind of a clever twist, because I wasn't even thinking of that. In my head, I was like, who could this be? And then when they're like... This showed like the grave, and it said like Van Dyne. I was like, oh shoot! And then it was like, yeah, Michael Douglas comes in, and they're like, oh, so it was Ant-Man, but he's kind of dressed like Yellow Jacket, which I thought was cool. Oh
yeah. Well, it's great because in the comic, and it's kind of serendipitous because I just read this issue. It was the first issue of Yellow Jacket, and he's like a total bad guy, and then you find out that it's Hank Pym with amnesia or some shit. But like, yeah, it was like, oh, it's like an evil Hank Pym rocking the Yellow Jacket suit. So I thought that was a nice nod to the comic.
Yeah.
I love Loki's involvement. Like, because I was thinking about this. So, because Thor dies, right? And Loki comes with, the armies of Asgard, to avenge his brother. And I'm like, what's the long game? Because I know because the whole exile was Loki's plan, but is it like, well, I didn't want him to get killed. I mean, I still like the guy. Or it's like, did somebody get to it before me? Probably more the first one. Probably more like, hey, well, wait, nobody was supposed to kill him. I mean, yeah, he's an oaf, but he's my oaf.
Exactly.
And then deciding, we're going to stay on Earth. And then, dude, when Nick Fury is in that ship and there's the Cap shields, go, welcome back, Cap. And then there's Captain Marvel. I want to see a follow-up to that episode. Who knows? Maybe we will, because I know there's there's one trailer out there where it's the rotation, and where instead of the Avengers, it's
it's also just opening doors for more seasons and stuff like that. Whether they can always come back to one of these if the show just continues to go on. That's what I always love that in comics when they would. That's why I love the Exiles, because it was a show that basically, or a series that would just pop back into all these old forgotten, like alternate universes or what if worlds and stuff like that. I loved when they brought back the Age of Apocalypse timeline. I think Rick Remender did that in something in X-Force.
Yeah. Age of Apocalypse comes up a lot.
Yeah, I feel like that's a big one, but I feel like it was Rick Remender and X-Force. They brought back they like went to that universe briefly, and it was well done. And I just like when they bring back like popular alternate timelines and stuff like that.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I mean, why not, you know? I mean, I just think it's cool that, like, the amount of people they got back. Like, the fact that we got, like, Jeremy Renner, Mark Ruffalo, you know? I mean, it almost kind of makes me kind of be like, listen, Kurt Russell and Michael Douglas came back. I'm looking at you, Robert Downey Jr. I'm looking at you, Chris Evans. What are you guys doing?
I bet Disney was just like, we're not writing that check. Let's not even ask.
I mean, that could be it too. That could be it. But still, the T'Challa Star-Lord episode was great because, I mean, it was Chadwick Boseman.
Exactly that.
You know, and that was just so nice to... And I guess apparently he was always ready to take on any Black Panther related thing. So apparently when that opportunity came up, like, he was like, that is happening. And so it's bittersweet.
Yeah.
You know, that's still a shock.
That was... I just remember reading that and being like, what? And
yeah.
I mean, poor guy.
Those are one of those few times where, like, I hear celebrity news where I was like, I am, like, genuinely bummed to hear this happened. You know? I mean, not that I'm not bummed when I hear people die. I mean, of course I am. But, you know, that one just kind of
struck... Yeah, because he was so young, and he was at, like, just ascending to, like, the peak of his, like, power.
Yeah, and he wasn't a dig me actor, you know what I mean? Like he didn't really seem to have, like, a big ego the way, like, some of these actors do, and he didn't. But I love that, and I think for that reason, I'm happy that they're not recasting T'Challa, because...
Yeah, I mean, they already established that, like, the Black Panther isn't him. Like, the mantle of the Black Panther doesn't have to be T'Challa. It can be someone else. So, like, you can still call a movie The Black Panther. That character is still the Black Panther.
Right.
Just not T'Challa. So it's like, in canon, it all still makes sense.
Oh, totally. I mean, and, you know, there's so many things you could do. I mean, you could make the sister.
Mm-hmm.
Because she was Black Panther in the books. I keep hearing this thing about they're bringing back Michael B. Jordan. I don't know how true this is.
Yeah, I mean, I'd be down. Michael B.
Take
Jordan's
that with a grain of salt. But you know what? Honestly, I would be okay with a reformed Killmonger as Black Panther. Because, one, I fucking love Michael B. Jordan. Phenomenal actor. He is of the bloodline.
Mm-hmm.
And I love Michael B. Jordan.
Yeah.
Big three reasons why he should be Black Panther. Totally support it. But yeah, the what if stuff is just been a lot of fun. And I love that we get Uatu in this, you know. I know we kind of saw, like, you know, not a couple, but, you know, some watchers in, was it Volume 2 of Guardians?
Yeah, I think so.
But it's just cool. Was it Jeffrey Wright is doing the voice, and I think he's great.
Oh, yeah. It's such a Westworld's just serious and mysterious voice.
And, you know, and who's to say we won't see him in an MCU movie?
True.
Maybe watching this madness, multiverse of madness.
He's always there. He's just watching.
Mm-hmm. It's so funny that when you hear, like, I can never interfere, and it's like, dude, the amount of times you've interfered in the books is hilarious.
Yeah, he's like, I'll never interfere. But, like, in the comic
2 minutes
books,
later,
people are talking, then all of a sudden there's just a big, tall baby in the background. They're just like, what is this motherfucker doing here? Clearly some shit's about to go down. You don't have to say anything, man, but we get it.
Yeah, and it's like, this can't be good if you're here. This does not bode well. But, yeah, I'm just excited for more, and very happy that again, any MCU production, live action or animated, has just been phenomenal. I have not liked anything really, so
Yeah.
keep it up is what I say. But yeah, how many episodes are in this season? Is it like 6?
I forget. Let's find out. How many what if episodes will there be? I don't care when it goes until. 9 weeks? 9?
Well, that's good.
Yeah.
You know what I like about What If 2 is that because it doesn't have a cliffhanger ending, I don't want this to come off wrong because I'm saying how much I love What If, but I don't like countdown like I gotta wait till next week to see what happens with Loki or Bucky.
Yeah. Just something new every time.
Right. So when I wake up on Wednesday morning or sometime during the Wednesday, it's like, oh, what if? Oh my God, this is awesome. So I do appreciate that that component of it, not like counting down the days. Oh, but the What Ifs, so good. But yeah, 9 episodes should be. That's nice, and I think because it's a What If too. I mean, you really can go off the rails, and like it doesn't matter because there's consequences don't matter. Yeah, clearly, when they killed off Tony and Hawkeye and
the Hulk.
Oh, the Hulk death was kind of cool.
Just blew up. I was like, what the hell?
Yeah, that was good, and I'm excited to see more of Mark Ruffalo because isn't there talks about him being in She-Hulk?
I would assume so. I mean, he seems like he's down to pop into whatever.
Yeah. I support it. But yeah, just good. Disney Plus.
Not to mention the Star Wars stuff that's going to start popping in soon.
Oh yeah, I'm assuming December we're going to get the next season of Mandalorian.
The Mandalorian or the Book of Boba Fett.
Either one I'll be there for. 100%. No doubt about it. But yeah, it's been good stuff all around with the MCU. I was trying to think. Hasbro had a live stream today that I mentioned earlier where they revealed Spider-Man figures and movie figures for the Eternals, like I think Crow is the name of the head deviant, I guess. So they showed his figure. Apparently, he's massive. Their build-a-figure for that's going to be Gilgamesh, one of the members of the Eternals, and the I guess the build-a-figure for the Spider-Man is Armadillo. The figure looks amazing. Of course I'm going to get it. I think pre-sales are going up on Thursday. But, when I hear Armadillo, I think of the holiday Armadillo from Friends. Santa's Jewish friend. So during the live stream, I photoshopped a picture of Ross as the holiday Armadillo on top of the Build-A-Figure head. And I, of course, posted to Instagram. And when I did that, usually the show gets it's hosted by like one of the designers and like 2 of the guys in marketing. I tagged Ryan Ting, who was one of the guys hosting it, and I added it. Or no, I atted it him, or I don't know. I fucking tagged him in it. One of the kids saying, but he liked it. And that, I know, who gives a shit? I do, because I thought that was cool. Like, they saw my shitty holiday armadillo joke, and maybe, I don't know, like, if want to include this in the thumbnail of the episode, just to kind of get a visual reference of my my stupid prank. I just put it in the team chat as well. So, yeah, Build-A-Figure armadillo. But regardless, though, and I'll put in a picture of the real armadillo so you can see it. But it looks pretty rad. And they also, oh, dude, they reveal a bunch of shit I'm excited for. So the big thing that they're doing, which is what is really great for me as an adult collector, is like the army building. Like you can buy a bunch of Hydra henchmen or like AIM henchmen. So they're doing that for Shield agents.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm so pumped.
Just gonna get a shit ton of Shield agents.
Yeah, hell yeah. And it's great because it comes with weapons, different hands, different helmets, and it even comes with different like heads. So you can have like different Shield agents without their helmets on.
Mm-hmm.
So that's happening. And they're also doing a bunch of Skrulls. So yeah, like because they release like a super Skrull, but I need the regular average Joe Skrull.
Yeah, of course.
So that's happening. They also teased a Excalibur box set. It's got Captain Britain.
Nice.
Yeah, one of the heads is when he's got that beautiful yellow goatee. And what I'm really excited about is that they're doing Kitty Pryde, but they're doing like the 80s blue costume with a domino mask, Kitty Pryde.
Nice.
Oh, it looks so good.
Yeah, anything 80s X-Men,
Dude,
totally down.
I say more. Bring more of that. And they also have McGann in it. I don't know if you ever read the Excalibur books, but she was part of that team. Oh, right, this is when Kitty Pryde was called... Yeah, right, because in the book she was called Shadowcat. But yeah, it comes with Lockheed, and it's got Excalibur. They just need to do a Rachel Gray, and then we'll get the full Excalibur lineup. But, yeah, so a lot of exciting stuff for me anyway, because this is all shit that I love. Sometimes the live streams are like... Sometimes they're cool, sometimes they're like, nah, I probably could have skipped this. Oh, Morlun... the main bad guy from the actual Spider-Verse comic book.
Yep.
He's in it, or he's getting his figure. He's getting his figure debut. And the other big bit of news on that front is that the latest HasLab, last year they had the Sentinel. Mm-hmm. This year it's Galactus, and he's massive. He's actually bigger than the HasLab Sentinel. That's supposed to be shipping out sometime next month. They did a side-by-side comparison. Like, this is like... it's about the same height. They had a picture of Reed Richards, which is this body mold, right? It's about like 6 inches. Galactus is so big that like his fucking boot is taller than this.
Dude, that's wild. So it's like what? It's 3.5 feet. It's the size of a small child.
I mean, I'll be taking pictures of it in the playground, pushing him on the swing. But yeah, he comes with different heads. Like he's got like an angry expression, a calm expression, and then like he's got like the skull mouth, so you can do like a dead Galactus. The amount of articulation is insane, but they finally got enough funding for it, so they got the backers, so they're gonna make it. And then they've already unlocked one tier, which was I forget her name. It was one of the heralds. She's all gold with the flame hair. I cannot believe I'm blanking on her name. And then the other tier, if you unlock it, is like Silver Surfer, and the Silver Surfer looks incredible with all of the effects that he comes with, and it's just bananas. It's so good. Anyway, I wanted to bring that up because that happened today, and I figured this has been Action Figure Insider.
Yeah, I mean, that reminds me of that video game trailer I sent you for the Marvel Midnight Suns. So one thing Marvel is doing that's pretty cool is a lot of times with like video games, like licensed video games, it's just like one video game studio gets the license and then they're all made from that one company. But Marvel, actually, there's a bunch of big different studios making different Marvel games, which is exciting because I think Square Enix or Crystal Dynamics made the Avengers game.
Yeah, and they're doing the Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah, so they're making those games, which I haven't played. I've heard mixed things about the Avengers, but if it ever goes on sale for a low price, I will gladly buy it and play it.
Dude, I actually just beat that maybe a week or two ago, and it's good. I thought it was a lot of fun. I wasn't wild about it at first, but it's great. They make AIM like a legitimate threat, and I like the origin story from MODOK. And MODOK at the end, because he's like the big bad. I liked his designs. Like it makes me want to see a live action MODOK.
Yeah, I would definitely play that game, but it's one of those things that Just, if it goes on sale, I'll snap it up. But
Totes.
this Midnight Suns game, I'm not even sure if they showed any gameplay in the trailer. It was just kind of like a cinematic, and I'm not even sure what's going on, but it looks very much like some kind of, I don't even know, like mystical threat of some kind, like a Doctor Strange thing. But it's like the characters that are in the game. You got Ghost Rider, you have Blade, but you still have like Iron Man, Captain America, Wolverine. I saw Magic in the trailer.
That's cool.
There's just a lot of fire. There's a lot of just like, I think there's a character made for the game that you can kind of customize however you want, kind of make it your own. But there's like, there's one shot at the end where they're all the characters like walking in like slow motion. But who's here? So there's Doctor Strange, Iron Man, Magic, Captain Marvel, Captain America, Blade. I don't know what's going on. It looks rad.
I mean, that's all I need from a video game, really. I just need it to look good and have a good gameplay.
If it's just a run around hack and slash nonsense game, I'm down.
Yeah. Not asking for a lot.
Yeah.
Not asking for a lot. But no, dude, even the mobile games, like there's a new Marvel mobile game out right now. And I can't even play it because the amount of storage it needs on my iPhone. Like, it's insane the amount of shit that I had to delete. I was like, I just want to see what the gameplay is like, and if it's worth all of this. And then halfway through, like, you need more data. And I'm like, okay, this is a lot to ask for me. But the gameplay did look really good. So I don't know, maybe, when I get a phone with more wiggle room, I'll download it. But I forget what it's called. It's like Future. All this shit I got to keep track of. My God. Oh, Marvel. No, it was literally just up, and then it went away. I feel like an old man with my phone now. Marvel Strike Force. I play that. That's awesome. Marvel Future Revolution. That's what it's called. And as I mentioned, what I saw, what little bit I was able to play, looks pretty cool. And amazing to live in a time now where you can like get a game like that that's free.
Yeah.
I was actually impressed with like the effects or like the
because somebody's spending all that money to buy gems or whatever that game has.
Yeah, I believe that. But
yeah, it's a blessed time to be a Marvel fan, that's for sure.
Totes. Probably the new name of the podcast. But I know we're coming up on that time where we talk about what we've been reading, watching, doing. I know you talk about your in-flight entertainment, but now that you're stateside again, anything good you're checking out?
Let me think. I'm just now catching up on Ted Lasso season 2.
Yeah, buddy. So good. I could do a Ted Lasso episode.
Yeah, I'll probably be done. I'll probably be caught up soon, and then I don't know how many episodes this season has, but it just continues to be a delight.
Yeah, it's a nice break.
It is.
If you get the chance, check out Schmigadoon.
I saw that, and I'm interested. The idea of getting trapped in a musical, I'm like, yes. Let's go.
It's fantastic. Alan Cummings is great in it. Fred Armisen. It's good.
So yeah, I'm trying to think of Ted Lasso and what if? Oh yeah, I randomly started reading like the Boom Studios Power Rangers comic last night.
Oh, how is it?
I read the first 3 issues of Go-Go Power Rangers, which seems like it's still ongoing. So it's like one of the more relevant ones. Kind of retells like the origin of Power Rangers, and I mean it's good. It's like better than the show as far as like writing and characterizations. Yeah. The art is really nice. I mean it's Power Rangers. It's fun. I think that's really the only comics I'm reading. I've still been trying to get my bearings back since vacation, but
yeah, I feel you. I'm trying to think what I've been. Well, my dog's been barking, but that's not really new. We started watching the latest season of American Horror Story. It's like Salem's Lot meets The Shining.
Okay.
They move to Provincetown. This writer can't write you know how it goes. One episode
Never
in.
good. Never good.
Yeah, seriously. One episode in. I'm excited to kind of see more. It's that time of the year where I get a little Halloween-y.
Mm-hmm.
Usually August, September is like, okay, I'm ready to get my Halloween on. And rewatched some classics. Like I actually rewatched Alien. God, that movie's so good.
Alien is just always so good.
Yeah. Even its sequel, Aliens.
I rewatched Aliens like a month or two ago.
That's so good. That holds up incredibly well.
I think they both do because they're so different, but they're like they fit together so well.
Well, I think that's why Aliens is a successful sequel because it's not trying to be like the first one. Like the second one's a war movie.
Yeah, it's like what if we took Alien and made it an action movie versus like a horror movie.
I actually heard a really good comparison or an allegory or whatever you want to call it that Aliens was James Cameron's Vietnam movie, which is about taking on an enemy that you don't understand. Then so it's like I could totally see that. That makes sense. But yeah, Alien and Aliens, two great directors.
There's actually two good episodes from the Unspooled podcast, Paul Scheer's like movie podcast. He does.
Yeah.
He did. They've been doing like summer blockbuster movies on that. Or no, they're doing sci-fi first. Now they're doing that. But they did an Alien episode, and then at the end of that, they're like, we got to do an Aliens episode. So there's like a back-to-back Alien and Aliens episode
cool.
that are both really good.
I had to take a break from Unspooled because I feel like they were trash talking some of my favorite movies. I'm like, I love you, Paul Scheer. I got to take a little bit of a break.
I feel like on that show they don't necessarily trash talk it, but they just like they're always trying to see if it holds up or whatever. But
I don't know. The way they talked about Shawshank Redemption, it felt like trash talk.
Yeah, I could see. I love Shawshank, but
I do too.
On that show when they're like, should it go to space or whatever they say, or like, does it belong in the top best films of all time? I don't know.
I do.
It's one of those things. It's just like how you balance like your preferences,
personal...
like and what you like versus what you think. I was thinking about this the other day because there's movies that I watch and I just love, but then there's movies that I watch and they like inspire you to like want to be creative or something like that. So there's some like, I was trying to think. So like Christopher Nolan movies I watch and I'm like impressed and like I like them and they're like really cool and I'll watch them over and over again. But then there's like a Stanley Kubrick movie I watch and it like affects me, even though like I could watch like Inception like once a year and be like, yeah, this is fun. But in like 2001: A Space Odyssey, I watch like once a decade just because it takes a lot out of you to like sit through some of those movies. But it's like at the end of them, you're just like, I don't know. You're just like, damn, that's how you make a movie. Or like, that's how I felt after watching like Once Upon a Time in the West. I was like, God damn, that's a movie. I'm like, I want to make movies.
Yeah.
And, yeah. So it's just like and it's weird because it's like those movies like changed the way I looked at movies forever. But if I was like making a list of my top 10 movies, it's like, I don't know if some of them would make it's weird.
Art like beauty, eye of the beholder, right?
Exactly.
And then you got to take into account your personal experiences. That's why certain movies touch people in a certain way that doesn't on others. Like I've never been to prison, so how I watch Shawshank is going to be different than how somebody who's been to prison or knows a loved one who's in prison, or you know what I mean. Like it's a whole bunch of different things. I just love Morgan Freeman and Tim Robbins together, and when Morgan Freeman narrates things.
But Shawshank's a movie that I could watch all the time and always love it.
It always makes me feel good.
Yeah.
Like that's a movie where like if you just went through some rough shit, it makes you feel
like
good.
It's a great story. It's at the end you feel like you just finished a good book. You're all like, oh, what a great time. But it's like when I watch Shawshank, it doesn't inspire me on the same level as something like, I don't know,
2001.
Yeah, or like Once Upon a Time in the West, or some just random movies that like I've only seen like once or twice, but they like stick in my brain as like I just remember watching certain things and being like, holy shit, that's cinema.
Yeah.
But then like I'll watch Men in Black like once every 10 months and be like, this is the best movie of all time.
Yeah. Yeah. I get it.
Cause I'll watch I'll watch like The Winter Soldier literally once a week and like love it every time.
Yeah.
But I don't know if I'd put it in like my top 10 movies of all time. I don't know. It's weird how making lists is hard. That's why I try not to do it.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, there's some, I don't know. I think as humans, we're inclined to
try to find organization in the chaos.
Yeah. Pretty much put things in order, give things labels, categorize them. But yeah, I don't know. I think for me, I would have a hard time being, okay, can I look at this movie objectively and criticize it without, it's like Friends, right? I know a lot of people do not like that show. Mm-hmm. And some episodes, they're not that great. But I watched that show with my dad, and that was like the one thing he and I like did together, like consistently. So it's hard for me to like look at that show and not have that emotional connection to it. It's like, yeah, I get it. Some episodes is not the greatest writing, but you know it.
Yeah, I mean, I grew up. My older sister watched Friends nonstop, and then as my younger sister got older, she watched Friends nonstop. My wife now watches Friends it's just like one of those shows that's just always been on in the background. I have now seen every episode, guaranteed at least 2 times. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I also think Friends, it's like pretty well made. Like visually, it holds up really well for a show of the 90s.
Yeah. And
but a sitcom specifically is so, it has to be your taste, because there are people who like would like live and die by like How I Met Your Mother, and like I've watched a couple episodes of that show and I'm like, I don't get it. Like,
I don't either. Oh, good. Okay,
I don't get it.
I really wanted to be on the bandwagon. I did, and I feel like they're trying too hard. It's like a Big Bang. I can't.
So what I think is, which is weird, because Friends is one of these shows that has a laugh track and like on a set type thing, and the like sitcoms that like have stuck with me the longest are like Office, Parks and Rec, Arrested Development, Community. These like single camera kind of not a laugh track.
They trust you to find the jokes.
Yes, and like those are the ones that like I always go back to. But yeah, there's people who just love those like CBS ones. It's on CBS. But those are like the most popular ones in the world, which is weird.
Yeah, CBS and NBC, because NBC had Friends, they had Seinfeld. Seinfeld has a cult.
But Seinfeld, like, I don't love Seinfeld. I think that was popular. Like, I was just a little too young growing up to get it.
Right.
And as an adult, when I watched it, I'm like, oh, this is super funny. But it's like, I missed that window for it to like be one of those things I grew up with.
Right.
Whereas like The Simpsons at that time in my life was, I would watch The Simpsons and then be an episode of Seinfeld, and I'd like go away and I'd come back and watch another episode of The Simpsons.
Yeah. No, I totally get that. Yeah, no, it's so interesting with Friends, because one thing I've noticed too is that I don't know a lot of dudes who've either watched it or like it. I have bonded with so many women, like at work, the dentist office, like that has always been my like gateway to like making like friends. Like true story, last week I went to go get a cleaning for the first time since the pandemic started, and what I love about our dentist is that when you lay on your back, they have monitors on the ceiling, so you can watch TV. Yeah, you can watch TV while they're so I had this female nurse, and making the polite chit chat, talking about like her kids and yada yada yada, what you've been doing since the pandemic, whatever. And then when I get in the chair and lean back, she's like, oh, like, is Friends okay? I can change it. I'm like, oh my God, I love Friends. And like, what do we talk about that entire time? Well, what did she talk about? Because, I really couldn't. But yeah, Friends, like, it's crazy how, like, I don't know. I'm not saying that's how you should, like, get women, but like, for me, it's just been like a great way to make friends with.
Yeah.
It was like, that's like such a Chandler thing to say. Like, oh my God. Yeah, that's funny. So Friends, bringing people together, or not if you hate it. Like that armadillo picture I posted. I put that up on Reddit. I'm getting a lot of love on Reddit. And somebody wrote, Friends was a horrible show. That dude got downvoted like 20 million downvotes.
Oh yeah.
It's just this funny. Just funny. But I don't know. What shows do you watch or hate? Or what's a show that you love secretly that maybe just too nervous to come out and talk about? Love to hear your feedback. You know, we'd also love some stars on iTunes.
Yeah, go to iTunes, find the Multiverse podcast page, and leave a review that just says what sitcoms you like with a bunch of stars next to it. Because they don't read the reviews. Nobody reads the reviews.
No, just give us the stars.
Yeah, somebody looks down and they're just like, does it say Dawson's Creek and something else? Sure, 4 stars, yeah.
Yeah. So good. So good. Also, one last thing I'll say. The episode I just watched of Friends was with Jeff Goldblum. I don't know if you ever saw that episode. Jeff Goldblum is so good in that scene. He's like directing a play, and has a scene with Joey auditioning. It's so good. Masterclass acting right there.
I mean, it's Jeff Goldblum.
The Fly. Yeah. I mean, yeah, I got it. The Fly, Jurassic Park, great Jeff Goldblum stuff. But here's a gem you got to see because he is really great in that. And on that note, have fun exploring the multiverse. Or she doesn't like Jeff Goldblum. Multiverse.